There are 8,000 commercial kitchen fires in the United States each year. This family restaurant business took 20 years to build and less than 20 minutes to burn to the ground. A pot of soup left unattended overnight caused the fire. Fire professionals say our attitude, not being aware of the danger, is the #1 cause of fires like this.
Fire prevention is a function of awareness of everybody that exists within an organization. If a janitor sees something wrong, they should take care of it. If a supervisor sees an employee doing something inappropriate, they should take care of it. If the manager of a restaurant sees something that compromises the safety in a place, they should take care of it. It's not a case of who's going to be held to blame if something goes wrong. It's a case of who sees the problem and can eliminate it the quickest.
In a commercial kitchen, everyone works quickly, and it's easy to overlook a fire danger.
The name of the game is to have a plan. That's the starting point for anybody who's going to operate a facility like that. It's when the attitude of management compromises the system that you have the potential for disaster.
At this restaurant, the secondary exit was locked from the outside to prevent theft, the owner said. But firefighters lost valuable time trying to evacuate trapped employees. Inside, the exit pathway was blocked, again causing delay. If attitude can cause fires, it can also prevent them. Public education specialist Catherine Lynn suggests a starting point.
If they can keep it current in their minds by talking about it, making sure that every new employee knows what to do, and then reviewing it by practicing, makes a big difference. Keeping the handles of the pots turned in away from the edge of a stove, making sure that there's no dish towels or rags near the flames at all. Before the busy time on each shift starts, go through a routine mental checklist.
Are your sleeves short and close-fitting? Loose clothing can catch fire. When deliveries arrive, take time to move them out of the exit pathways you'll need to use in an emergency. Replace any missing knobs on your stove or missing filters on hood systems. Keep an eye on what you're cooking. Unattended food is a big cause of fires. And remember that not all burns are caused by fire.
Hot water at the temperature of 156 degrees causes a 3rd-degree burn in 1 second. So if you are boiling water, you can spill it on yourself and you will automatically have a 3rd-degree burn. Most people don't have the awareness that hot water can burn you bad enough to put you in the hospital, that flying grease can catch on fire. It's the awareness that will keep you safe.
Of course, awareness includes your fire safety equipment.
What I recommend to people is know your surroundings. If this is your job, know your job. Know where that pull station is. Make sure that pull station remains accessible. Know where your fire extinguisher is located and know how to use it. If you have questions about how to use it, get a hold of your local fire extinguisher company. They can explain to you how these things operate. But it's very important that these people know these things.
This safety manager says equipment hazards are sometimes caused inadvertently.
Blocking pole stations, putting a shelf or bread racks in front of the pole station, stacking storage in front of it. It's just kind of there and they think it's just in their way. Until a problem arises and they say, well, gee, that worked well. Glad I had it.
If you see something that needs attention, but you can't stop what you're doing,
You should record that thought right then and there because you'll lose it in the fast-paced business of the food industry. Either a clipboard that you can write it down on or a Post-it that goes on the manager's desk. The safer restaurants are going to be the restaurants where the employees have good communication, that they have a plan ahead of time, and that they have a good attitude toward helping each other out in any situation.
Research by the National Fire Protection Association shows almost half of the commercial kitchen fires involve cooking equipment. Most of these are caused by excess grease in the hood and duct systems or overheated cooking oils. So, keep your work area clean and well organized. Statistics show cleaner kitchens are less likely to have fires. Report every fire, large or small, to your local fire authority.
Fire department personnel don't just put the fires out, we really work hard to prevent them. And so finding out what the cause of the fire is, taking a look at each and every fire that happens, might help detect a problem that could develop into a larger fire at another time.
Develop a team approach to fire prevention. Employees can be an effective resource for orienting new employees.
Y ya puedes empezar a apagar el fuego donde sea que se encuentre. ¿Ok? Gracias.
America's eating habits are changing. For health reasons, we're selecting foods with less fat and cholesterol. But this has also created a fire danger. Vegetable oil burns hotter than animal fat, so vegetable oil fires are also hotter. Be sure your fire safety equipment is designed to extinguish fires from these hotter burning oils. The deadliest U.S. fire in the last 4 decades occurred on May 28, 1977, at the Beverly Hills Supper Club in Southgate, Kentucky. 165 people died, but 16-year-old kitchen employee Walter Bailey is credited with pulling many others to safety.
When we'd hear their voices, they'd hold up their arms and we'd grab their arms and hands and we'd pull them out and through the glass and everything and hold them out there. And after a while, we just kept pulling out people and they wouldn't be alive, so I just started helping people.
Walter later said he was just struggling to stay calm while everyone around him was panicking.
Well, one of the most critical factors when an emergency is in progress is that people who have what I call the color of authority are calm, cool, and collected. That they've thought about what they're going to say, they've thought about what they're going to do, and that they can take a leadership role.
One of the best ways to know how you'll react in a fire is to practice what you'll do before it happens. What are the priorities?
Well, priority 1 being just sound the alarm, whether it's by a pull station or by voice, letting people know that there's a fire. Priority 2 is letting the fire department know that there's a fire by getting somebody to call 911. And the next priority is making sure that you are assisting people with the evacuation. Now, these can all run simultaneously. These are all top priorities right there. Those 3 are almost all priority 1. And in a kitchen situation, you can often work that as a team. When one person is sounding the alarm, another person can go call 911, and another person can start organizing the evacuation of the customers. The next priority is actually containing the fire.
Never pick up or carry a pan of burning grease. The best action is to cover the flames to cut off the source of oxygen. Then turn off the burner. Learn how to operate your fire suppression system.
The Ansel system here is designed to put out a fire at 500 degrees.
And make sure the manual pull station remains accessible. Also, have someone in your organization regularly check your fire safety equipment.
Maintenance is an extremely important part of maintaining the integrity of the system so that if an emergency occurs, the people will be able to use all of those features with a minimum amount of negative impact.
Learn how to treat a burn injury. Hot cooking oil or grease burns account for 20% of all burns treated at hospitals. Taking quick action is important with every burn. And with serious burns, the long-term impact is often overlooked.
The reality of it is that when you get burned, you are burned forever. Your skin never regenerates. You will always have a scar. So your psychological state is changed forever when you have a burn.
When fire strikes, your reaction time will be measured in seconds.
When fire strikes, people have to be prepared for that. They have to be mentally prepared for it.
Last night we had some problems with high chairs on the south side. We want to keep that open.
The more likely a person is to be present when an emergency occurs, the heavier the burden of responsibility to be adequately prepared.
And tell all the people how to get out of the building.
You're the one that needs to be prepared to take action, not the manager, not the insurance agent, not the fire chief who's 5 miles down the road, but right then and there.
And knowing specifically what to do is critical.
Where are the fire extinguishers? Where are the exits? How do you report a fire?
I thought I'd just go up
When
and
fire
take the
strikes,
microphones.
it really boils down to people having an attitude about their role in the event of an emergency.
How to get out of the building.